Namaskar dear learners, I Dr. Bharti, faculty at CDOE, welcomes you all to the third topic video of Unit 9 of our course The Leadership Equation Balancing Vision, Strategy and People. Prior to this, we have already explored the topic 2 of Unit 9, which was about learning from experiences and developmental activities. I hope you have learned that topic well. Now let us talk about the topic 3 of Unit 9 of our course, and the Unit 9 that talks about developing leadership skills. And in today's video, we will understand the topic 3 of Unit 9, which is facilitating leadership development. Leadership development is a structured process aimed at improving the skills, the competencies and the self-assurance of individuals to proficiently lead teams, organizations or initiatives. It emphasizes the preparation of present and future leaders to attain organizational objectives, address difficulties and motivate others to achieve success. Leadership development encompasses not only the enhancement of individual competencies, but also the cultivation of a leadership culture within an organization. Learners, before we dig deep into this topic, let us explore the learning objectives of this video at first. At the end of this topic, you will be able to understand the key areas and the significance of the leadership development. We will also explore the ways to facilitate leadership development. Learners, so let us start with understanding the key components of leadership development. The first component to build is the skill building, enhancing fundamental leadership qualities that include communication, decision making, problem solving, emotional intelligence, and strategic thinking. Augmenting technical and sector-specific expertise, self-awareness, assisting leaders in comprehending their strengths, their weaknesses, the values, and the leadership style, employing instruments such as 360-degree feedback, personality evaluations, and introspective exercises, experimental learning, it facilitating practical experiences via stretch assignments, employment rotation, and real-world initiatives. Promoting experimental learning and reflections among leaders, guidance and instructions. Assigning leaders to mentors or coaches for the guidance, the feedback, and assistance. Then establishing a secure environment for the leaders to address concerns and investigate the solutions. Then we have formal training, providing workshops, the seminars, the courses, the certifications to enhance knowledge and abilities, employing blended learning methodologies that incorporate both online as well as face-to-face instruction. Alignment of culture and organization, aligning leadership development with the organization's goal, vision, and values, equipping leaders to facilitate organizational transformation and cultivate a constructive workplace culture. Then we have succession planning, recognizing and cultivating high potential individuals for prospecting leadership positions, securing a succession of competent leaders to maintain organizational expansion. What is the significance of the leadership development? Here comes the question. Let us explore the answers of this question. It facilitates organizational achievement. Effective leaders motivate teams, enhance productivity, and attain organizational goals. They synchronize team endeavors with organizational objectives and adjust to evolving circumstances. Establishes a leadership pipeline. It equips the forthcoming generation of leaders to assume pivotal positions. Mitigates the danger of leadership voids resulting from departure or retirement. augments employee engagement. Effective leaders cultivate a constructive workplace atmosphere, enhancing morale and employee retention. They enable the employees, generating a sense of ownership and dedication. Fosters innovation and flexibility. Leaders possessing advanced skills may adaptively manage uncertainty, instigate change, and foster creativity. They cultivate a culture of perpetual enhancement and education. Enhances decision making. Leadership development provides individuals with the resources to make educated, strategic decisions. It promotes analytical reasoning and solution oriented thinking. Learners, let us see the key areas now. The key areas of focus in leadership development. First is communication skills. Proficient listening, lucid expression of concepts, and compelling discourse. Establishing trust and transparency among the teams. Then we have emotional intelligence, EQ, self awareness, self regulation, empathy, and interpersonal interaction management. Comprehending and regulating emotions in oneself and others. Strategic cognition, strategic planning, vision formulation, and alignment of actions with the organizational objectives. Foreseeing obstacles and prospects. Change management, guiding teams through transformations and cultivating resilience, addressing resistance and sustaining morale during transitions, team formation and cooperation, forming cohesive, high performing teams, promoting diversity, inclusion, and cooperation, principled leadership, exhibiting integrity, responsibility, and equity, making decisions that conform to organizational principles and societal norms, decision making and problem resolution, evaluating circumstances, assessing alternatives, and executing prompt decisions, promoting inventive solutions to intricate issues. Learners, let us now explore facilitating leadership development. Facilitating leadership development is a deliberate process that aims to improve the abilities, competencies, and mindset of individuals in order to better prepare them for the leadership roles. It entails establishing a setting in which both aspiring and existing leaders have the opportunity to develop, acquire knowledge, and flourish. Below is a detailed breakdown how to facilitate leadership development effectively. First under the list is determine the requirements for the leadership. In order to discover gaps, it is necessary to conduct evaluations in order to determine the existing leadership strengths and areas in which the organization could improve. Needs in the future. Anticipate the leadership abilities that will be necessary to achieve the organization's future objectives. Tools such as 360-degree feedback, personality tests such as DBTI and DISC, and the performance reviews are the examples of individual assessments that can be utilized to gain a better understanding of the individual's potential for the leadership roles. Define leadership competencies, core competencies. Establish a clear set of leadership competencies that are linked with the values and the goals of the organization. For example, communication, decision making, emotional intelligence, and strategic thinking. Personalization. adapt the competencies to the various levels of leadership such as frontline managers, mid-level leaders and executives. Definition of particular behaviors that demonstrate each ability is required for the behavioral indicators. Design a leadership development program. Structured curriculum. Develop a program that incorporates opportunities for experimental learning as well as training sessions and professional development workshops. Blended learning, using a combination of formal training such as classes and seminars and the informal learning such as mentorship and the work shadowing. Blended learning is a method of education. Personalization, customize programs so that they cater to a specific requirements of both the participants and the organization. Provide mentorship and coaching. Mentorship through the process of mentoring young leaders are paired with more experienced mentors in order to provide guidance, exchange ideas and encourage professional development. Coaching, employing expert coaches to assist leaders in the development of certain abilities, the overcoming of the problems and accomplishment of the personal and professional goals is an example of coaching. Learning by peers through the leadership circles or forums. Encourage learning by peers of the same or similar age. Encourage experimental learning. Providing leaders with tough projects or tasks that force them out of their comfort zones is another step in the process of encouraging experiential learning stretch assignments. Job rotation. It is possible for the leaders to get expertise in a variety of departments or functions through the use of job rotations. Action learning. The use of real world examples, the challenges as learning opportunities and the encouragement of leaders to discover answers via joint efforts is an example of action learning. Foster a growth mindset, continuous learning. Encourage leaders to seek feedback, learn from their mistakes and pursue opportunities for the advancement in order to foster a culture of learning that continues throughout one's entire life. Resilience. Leaders should be taught to embrace challenges and to perceive failures as challenges for the progress in order to develop resilience. Innovation. Encourage creative thinking and experimenting as a means of fostering innovation. Leverage technology, platforms for e-learning. Make leadership development more accessible and adaptable by utilizing online courses, webinars and virtual training. Applications, apps for the leadership. Make use of applications for creating goals, receiving feedback and keeping track of skills. Data analytics. Utilizing data-driven insights, data analytics allows for the mentoring of progress and the measurement of the impact of leadership development efforts undertaken. Measure and evaluate the progress is the another step over there. Establishing key performance indicators, KPIs, such as employee engagement, retention rate, and leadership effectiveness to measure the success of leadership development programs is the another step in the process of measuring and evaluating the progress. Key performance indicators. Feedback loops. In order to maintain and enhance the program, it is important to routinely solicit and gather feedback from participants and stakeholders. ROI analysis. Determine the return on investment by establishing a connection between the outcomes of leadership development and the performance of the organization. Create a supportive culture. Leadership buy-in. Make sure that the senior leaders actively support and engage in leadership development efforts. This is what we meant by buy-in from the leadership. Recognition. In order to encourage participants, it is important to recognize and celebrate leadership accomplishment and milestones. Encourage diversity and inclusion in order to guarantee that all individuals who have the potential to become leaders are provided with equal opportunities for the development. Let us now talk about aligned with the objectives of the organization. Strategic alignment. It is important to make sure that the organization's mission, vision, and strategic objectives are aligned with the leadership development programs that are being implemented. Succession planning. In order to adequately prepare future leaders for crucial responsibilities, it is important to integrate leadership development with succession planning into the progress. Change management. Providing leaders with the skills necessary to effectively drive and manage organizational change is an important aspect of change management. Then we have encourage self-reflection. Journaling. Inspire leaders to reflect on their experiences, their decisions, and growth. It is important to inspire leaders to reflect on their experiences, their decisions, and growth. Feedback. Constructive feedback should be provided on a frequent basis to leaders in order to assist them in understanding their progress and areas in which they improve. Personal development plans. PDPs. Assisting leaders in the creation of individualized plans to assist their growth path is a focus of personal development plans. Then build emotional intelligence, self-awareness. Teach leaders to understand their feelings, their strengths, and their weaknesses. This is what we meant by self-awareness. Empathy. Acquiring the capacity to comprehend and empathize with the feelings of other people is the essence of empathy. Relationship management. The management of relationships involves providing leaders with the skills necessary to construct and sustain healthy and good partnerships. Encourage accountability. Goal setting. Encourage those in leadership positions to establish definite and quantifiable objectives for their own personal growth. Ownership. Build a sense of ownership by encouraging a sense of responsibility for both the individual as well as for the group outcomes. Follow up. Review the progress that has been made on a regular basis and ensure that the leaders are held accountable for their own growth. Encourage networking. Internal networks. Foster the development of internal networks by attempting to facilitate interactions between leaders from different departments inside the organization. External network. Opportunities to participate in business events, conferences, and professional groups should be encouraged through external networks. Collaboration. Facilitate collaboration by encouraging cross-functional teamwork and exchange of information. Sustain momentum. Ongoing support. Maintain momentum. Ongoing support even after official programs have concluded. Continue to offer opportunities for learning and the tools to continue your education. reinforcement, the use of follow-up sessions, refresher course and coaching are all the effective ways to use reinforcement to reinforce learning. Adaptation. The leadership development programs should be continuously updated to reflect the changing needs of the organization as well as the developments in the applicable industry. A comprehensive leadership development framework may be created by the organizations through the implementation of these techniques. This framework is designed to cultivate leaders who are capable, self-assured and flexible, and who are able to drive success in an environment that is both dynamic as well as competitive. Learners, with this way we have come to the end of this session. Let us quickly recapitulate what we have learned in this session. In this session, we have understood the key areas and significance of the leadership development. We have explored the ways to facilitate leadership development. So learners, that's all for now. Now in next session, we will discuss about the systems perspective on leadership development. Till then, take care everyone and happy learning.